What's good, YouTube? I'm coming at you with another video today. Today we reacting to top 10 fights of 2020 to 2022, obviously anime. Feel free to hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe if y'all enjoyed the video, and let's get straight to it in 1, 2, 3. I don't even know what anime this is, but they boxing off rip, and that shit was different.
It's only been 2 years or so into the
new that's
decade,
only that's
the
opening?
One thing that anime never disappoints in is giving us encounters and battles to remember. It's these fights that most people love. It's these fights that help anime continue its surge of popularity into the mainstream. So for today, I'm going to be going over 10 of my favorite fights from the years 2020 to 2022. And for an added challenge, I'll be limiting my options to only new anime for those years. You ready?
Ooh. Akudama Drive. I ain't seen this. But they boxing.
Was the surprise of the
they
season.
boxing.
It's high-octane action with a flash of sci-fi edginess and mayhem. The chaos is quite fitting, considering the state of the world in those parts of 2020. It felt like it was yesterday when anime fans were getting dazzled by the action and intensity of this original anime. It shines in how it revels in the craziness, and this fight is a shining example of that. The two characters brawl in a game center, blitzing through the place and delivering furious blows to one another. You see a lot of wild moments like structures being thrown and no-holds-barred beatdowns, all in a span of just 2 minutes. The whole thing feels more like a dance where the two are having the time of their lives. Overall, it's a nice fight that more or less captures the essence of what Akudama Drive is. Akudama Drive is no way represented by fights alone, but it's this kind of frantic action and vintage feel that really helped it stand out amongst its peers in the fall of 2020. Next is Team Ruby versus Nevermoor.
Ruby. Nah, I've been asked, like, I've been told that I should watch this a lot. I've yet to watch it.
It's been a few episodes, and I think the Ice Queendom has generally left a good impression on me. I really love
I know people that's been telling me to watch this for a minute.
This one is an early example of that. As a standalone fight, it's pretty good. It does a good job of letting the characters play their roles in the team while they're working together, defeating the enemy using their combined strengths. It does feel extra satisfying to see the battle end in their victory. It's quite a nice fight, and it could be a good way to get people to check out Ice Queendom. It could be recency bias that made me put this up here, but I do think that Ice Queendom has been a satisfying anime version of the popular series so far. It's good to watch as a standalone, but I think it's even better to watch as a fan who can do some comparing and contrasting between the original and this one. Up next, we have White Cat Legends Final Fight.
What the heck is this? Oh, hold up.
Yes, it's been a while since I talked about Chinese anime, but we have a great one here. White Cat
Legends
this
Chinese
is a pretty fun and underrated
anime
show that aired during the early part of 2020. It unsurprisingly went under the radar like a lot of other non-Japanese shows, but it's got some epic fights like this one right here.
I never checked out Chinese animation before.
And sleek everything looked. The transitions just seem so seamless, and it's quite creative in its approach in animation. I also like the pacing of the fight, how the characters shift from armed combat to hand, and then right back, all while more and more things get added to the fight to keep things from becoming redundant. It may not be the special effects fiesta that studios like Ufotable may have gotten used to, but in terms of honest, effort-filled animation, this one's definitely right up there. A good finale for an underrated show. We then proceed to Boss vs. Bodji.
Ranking of Kings, another anime I haven't seen. But I heard it's not bad.
About David versus Goliath. We've come to know Ranking of Kings as a story of an underdog rising to the top, but no fight in the series exemplifies that concept as blatantly as this, and it also does a damn good job of showcasing part of why people have come to love Ranking of Kings. Bigger isn't exactly better when you've got someone like Bodji, whose claim to fame is his amazing speed and agility. The fight itself may not be some insane Sakuga fest, but I really love how it makes the audience feel like they're part of it. The camera angles and movement really capture what it's like to be Bodji, trying to scale this titanic opponent in order to deliver the finishing blow. It's a fight that takes the audience along for the ride, and I really love how that further enhances what's already been a good fight. Don't let the shortness of this fight, I mean it's just a little over a minute, fool you, because it's a minute or two of some of the best fight directing we've seen in the past 2 years or so. Before reaching the halfway mark, we take a look at Destiny versus Orpheus.
Another anime I've yet to see. Yo, I ain't gonna find. You definitely give me some pretty good anime recommendations.
By the end of it all, it was over.
Let me know if y'all will let me react to some of these anime in the
comments.
comments.
A mobile game anime. The story's straightforward, but it is also enjoyable, and it's mostly due to its presentation. There's just a joy to be found in playing climactic battles in mobile games, and this fight just embodies that same feeling. The villain attacks are frantic, and the heroes find themselves in a race against time to defeat a seemingly
I definitely like the unique character design.
You even get the reviving boss that comes back stronger, only to be beaten by the good guys with renewed resolve. I just like how this ended not with powers, but a good old bare-handed thrashing. If anything, the fight captures the feel of what it's promoting.
Oh, she is boxing her.
It's a job well done. Takt Op Destiny isn't exactly a masterpiece of a show, something to be talked about for years to come, but for what it is, it's a very fun watch, and while it had so many chances to become a disastrous game adaptation that made no sense whatsoever, it rose up and became a show that we can all enjoy.
Dang!
Oh, and if you're enjoying this video so far and somehow aren't subscribed yet, then what are you waiting for? Go hit that subscribe button and make the team's day. It won't
halfway
take long,
mark,
and you can even ring the bell to be the next in line for our next video. Alright, that's enough of this break. Time to watch more exciting fights. Since we talked about Takt Op already, how about something quite similar in feel? Here's Vivi with its astounding Vivi versus Hugo fight.
Vivi.
If Takt Op is all about the sci-fi girls and the weapons, explosions, and occasional brawling to create a spectacle, Vivi as a series takes its fights in a slightly different direction. Instead, it chooses to wow our eyes with some of the finest fight choreography and camera work you'd get from a show like this, and amongst the many battles the show has to offer, I feel like I want to feature the Vivi versus Hugo fight today. For a show that's as sci-fi as you can get, it's quite a pleasant surprise to see fighters meticulously
haven't seen it,
choreographed like this. From their
was going in though.
Close quarters combat when they land, you get sucked into the action through its excellent use of stifled pacing and shots for added impact.
Some futuristic
There's quite a bit
anime
of time going on before having the fight shift to frantic chaos. Overall, I think that Vivi is a show that people get into not because of the action, but when they do get into it, fights like these are nice offers to give the show a little something extra. What if you want to find a show with fights as its main feature? God of High School it is then.
God of High School. I ain't gonna lie. Anime low-key trash, but
people have been saying that
they were boxing. They definitely gave me some. They definitely broke the internet with some of their fights. They were going in.
So when it comes to seeing the encounters between some of the toughest tournament competitors, they better not disappoint. Thankfully, Jin versus Devi didn't disappoint in the slightest. This is, in my opinion, a fight that's emblematic of what God of High School has to offer. It's got the old-fashioned brawling, it's got the integration of real-world martial arts into its technique, and it caps everything off with anime powers integrated in its over-the-top stances. Oh, and some great flashbacks to give a chance for some reversal and add some spice to characters in between the moves too. It pretty much is the quintessential style for anime fights that feature a lot of martial arts influence. I liked it back when it was being done in the 90s. I liked it when the style became prominent in the 2000s.
Definitely a crazy fight.
It still holds up pretty well. Xuan versus Wrath is next on the list.
Definitely haven't seen this. This animation is different.
You don't?
It gives me Tower of God type animation vibes.
Fog Hill of 5 Elements is a Chinese anime that spans only 3 episodes, but it's pretty cool how there are already multiple fights that could be considered
another Chinese anime
when it was airing. It's largely due to how good it looks. The art style may seem simple, but it does have a unique flair to it, something that makes everything look so distinct and memorable. Then the characters start moving, and we get treated to some astoundingly smooth animation. I also like the progression in the fight and how it escalates over time. It brings the intensity in a way that you don't see too much even in modern anime. You know the coolest part about this though? Fog Hill is done by a rather small studio, and you can tell that even if there weren't a lot of people involved in this, the people did put their all in this project. It's got animation that can go toe-to-toe with your mappas and such, but with far few resources. These guys were also responsible for White Cat Legend, which released a bit earlier, and you can tell why they haven't lost a beat. In fact, they may have even got better at it.
Ooh.
Team Rudius versus Orsted shows us what Mushoku Tensei can do with its fights.
Mushoku Tensei. Just a fire anime in
Don't
general.
immediately think of intense fights when they think of Mushoku Tensei.
Can't wait for
They
this.
could think of its
Can't wait for them
influence
to bring
in
it
the
back.
isekai scene. They could think of the controversies. They could even think of how it's probably one of the most complete isekai shows out there with amazing world building. But this fight proves that in the action department, it could hang with
I remember
the
that
big
man
boys.
tried to
Fights
murk
serve
him.
a lot of purposes. Sometimes they serve as the climax of an arc or a way to build character. At times, they just serve to let the animation team flex their might. And at times, they serve to up the ante to build an unstoppable villain, like what this one did for Orsted. Even after knowing the result of the fight, the whole
Man,
sequence was
right in
still
the
a joy to
stomach.
watch. With high impact cuts and excellent voice acting as each member of Team Rudius falls, this scene really brought the whole scene to life. While it's not as directly immersive as the Ranking of Kings fight, it still does a pretty good job helping the audience connect with what's happening and the huge pinch Team Rudius is in. This fight did do a lot of things right. It showed our heroes in the most precarious positions they've been in. It showed us how overpowered Orsted is, and it added an extra layer of tension to the whole plot. Seeing Rudius almost dying was a sight I bet you didn't expect to see now, did you? To wrap things up, we look at Jujutsu Kaisen's best fight.
Of course. They were going in.
No stranger to anime fans who've been watching the hottest
Can't wait for
shows of
season
late,
2.
and that's because it's just that awesome. Yuji and Todo versus Hanami simply shows the best that Jujutsu Kaisen has to offer. Fast-paced fights, a good showcase of powers, some good back and forth that makes a fight very unpredictable, and great utilization of the 2-on-1 scenario. The animators got their work cut out for them in helping this fight transition from manga to anime, and they passed the test with flying colors. This is a fight that takes us through a lot of twists and turns while letting both Yuji and Todo shine. Another good thing about this fight is how Gojo comes to end it with a breathtaking finisher.
Was smacking him, bro. Hollow purple.
And that's it for my list. How does my list compare to yours? I think we're going to have some similarities, but I'm also very interested in hearing what other fights you've got on your list. If you have...
Alright, that's the end of the video. I really enjoyed it, man. I ain't gonna lie. Some of them animes I've never seen before. First of all, I might need to start looking at Chinese animation, bro. Like, them Chinese animators, bro, you know what they doing. Them fights was kind of clean. But, like I said at the beginning, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe, and be seeing you again. Peace.